Hi, art friends. So, what we're going to start today is growing our plants from our tiny seeds that we planted last time. Now, I want you to think about the parts of plants. Basic parts of plants are stems, leaves, and at the top, there's usually a flower. Flowers can sometimes turn into fruits. Sometimes there's more than one stem. So use your imagination and think about all of the different plants, flowers that you have seen. And you can create any type of plant that you can imagine. What I'm going to do to start mine is grab some green paper, and I'm going to start by making my stems. Now, I'm going to have one plant that is going to be kind of tall and maybe one plant that's a little short. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to make my stem a little wider at the bottom, skinnier at the top. I'm going to use my glue cup, my glue tub, to glue on the back. There we go. And then I'm gonna plant it in the seed. Nice. And then I can cut another stem for this seed. And I do want them to be different height. So I'm gonna cut that one off right there. And then I'm gonna make this one a little skinnier at the top, just to add a little variety, a little skinnier at the top there. So I'll use my glue brush. I'll put some glue on the back. Put the glue brush back in the tub so it doesn't get glue everywhere. And then make sure that construction paper, your stems, make sure it's stuck really nice and flat to your background. Remember, we're practicing cutting and gluing and making a collage. So make sure you're focusing on making your papers stick together. We don't want any paper flying off and falling. Now, if you want to, I like to use sometimes my little scrappy bits that I cut off, because sometimes I get inspired by these random little bits that I cut off. And these little triangle pieces I cut, I think they would look really cool as like some extra little stems coming off of my main stem there. See that? Boom. It's amazing what you can actually use. Like, I can use up this whole little piece of green paper and probably make all sorts of crazy things. And all I needed was one piece of paper. It's amazing, boys and girls. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use my lighter green. I'm going to choose a different color to make my leaves. But you know what I'm noticing? My fingers are starting to get all gluey. You know what we can do for that? Well, for that problem, we can solve it by grabbing a wipe. So we can use the wipe to just kind of clean off our fingers, get that glue off. We'll put that right on the table because it's still good. I can still use it because my fingers are still going to get gluey. But then my fingers are wet, so I'm going to need a piece of paper towel. I'm going to keep this. I'm just going to dry off the tips of my fingers a little bit. And I'm going to keep this paper towel too because it's still good and I can still use it to dry off my fingers. Now I got clean hands and I'm ready to cut out some leaves. So you can think of your shapes and create some really cool leaves that are triangles, or you can curve one end of your leaf, make the other end pointy, and then you've got a lovely little leaf like that. You can choose to do whatever kind of a style of leaf you want. Maybe if you have more than one seed that you planted in your dirt, maybe you will have more than one different type of plant. So you might have more than one different types of leaves. Again, I always think that the variety, different kinds of plants, different sizes of leaves and plants, adding variety to your artwork makes it really interesting to look at. And it also makes it really interesting to make too, right? Check it out. See? You can change the variety. You can make big leaves and little leaves. And I totally used my little scrappy bits, right? Check it out. I've got a little triangle there already cut out for me. I can put that right there. Bing! So I've got curved leaves and spiky leaves. And yeah, so today we're just going to work on growing our plants and thinking about what kind of a plant are you going to make. All right, our friends, don't forget at the end of cleanup today, we're going to make sure that we clean out and lay down our glue brush on our plate, and make sure you cap that glue cup. We don't need that to dry out. And then put it back on the plate.